Hi everyone, in this video, let us have a look at one of the open source alternative for the NLP services that we have, like the Google NLP, Azure's NLP, AWS Comprehend kind of NLP services, cloud services that we have. So Spacy is one of the best industrial natural language processing library that we have today, which is a open source one, and it is also very simple and easy to use. If we just navigate to the website of Spacy, we get an awesome documentation of this website's of this library's features. So this is just an introductory thing that we have on the website, and here we see this snippet of code which actually explains how we could use the Spacy. So it's as simple as that. Like we just import the Spacy library, and then this Spacy.load is something which loads the language library. That is, it has the entire vocabulary of the text words that are available in that language. Here they are loading the English core language model. The types of language models will be available here in the model section. And once the language model is loaded, the service, like the NLP service, is now ready for use. And here they are just assigning a text to the variable text. After that, they send this text that they have defined to the NLP as a parameter and calling the function. So this NLP is formed by loading this language model. So every NLP returns something known as, like, if we see here, we will have a better look at it. So there was an image that was explaining how the NLP actually works. It is something like, I don't know where it was. I just have seen it on this website. So what this NLP usually does is it just returns a doc object. This doc object has the results that come from the pipeline. The pipeline is nothing but here we just have the default pipeline. After loading the language model, we can also select what are the what are the functions or what are the services that we want to load in the pipeline. So the doc object, which is the response of this NLP function, has has the results of all the configurations. Like the what I mean by configuration is here tokenizer, tagger, parser, NER is entity recognition, and word vector. These are some of the services that are available. If we want the service, we can configure it in by adding it to the pipeline. That is, this NLP it itself is named as pipeline. So after running this, we have this doc object, and here we could see that they are getting each objects from the doc objects noun chunk, which just gives the nouns that were extracted from this set of text. And in this we are taking the parts of speech, which is after taking the parts of speech, they are returning only the verbs that are available in the text, and they are printing it as verbs with the label. So this Spacy website also has a wonderful documentation and code reference, such that we can run this code and just see the output live. So it will take some time, and to run this code. If we want, we could also edit it, as you could see, and then also run it. And here they have defined the features of Spacy. Spacy is non-destructive tokenization, has non-destructive tokenization, name entity recognition, blah blah blah. These are what the capabilities and the features of Spacy. And here you could see there are a lot of big enterprises that are trusting and that are also supporting the Spacy project. So you could just go to this website spacy.io and have a look at these things. And to get started, if you just go to this usage link, you will have this quick start guide here. It just explains you how you could install the Spacy library, how you can load the models and what are the models, and the various ways that you could install it. It has definitions for installing it as a with just the pip, which is a Python package module, or you could also install it with Conda, which is a distributor. And there are also options for importing Spacy with GPU settings, like we have here, right? So it says run Spacy with GPU. So it defines you how you could use the CUDA library and run the Spacy programs by utilizing the graphics computing capability of your system. So you could also see here there is a list of guides that are available for each of these things. Um, and as I have already told that there are a number of languages, and in the example that we saw before, we saw that they have loaded English language. So in this model section, we could see that there are a lot of languages available here. In the left side scroll bar also, we are able to see the list of languages that are available. So we can just select here, and if we see the below code, it just gives DE stands for German, and like if I select EN, it shows EN core web. So before loading the language model, we should install it. That is what they are doing here. They just install it globally in the Python module, and then they are loading it and utilizing it. So here is a very elaborate definitions on what the language is and how we can use it. And the next thing is this API section. The API section actually shows the actually shows the architecture, and it also defines what are the functions that are available in each of the modules that are available in Spacy. So doc is the return value of as you could see, yeah, doc is what is the return value of the NLP function, and each of these has some meaning, I guess. So, and individual token is just known as a token. I have not explored these things. I usually use these the pipeline section here for getting parts of speech, entity recognition, text categorization. There is also lemmatizer, which is like that might be words like go, going. So going actually means go, right? So this is what is done by lemmatizer. And tokenizer is it just splits each of the words that are available. And if we want to customize the tokenizer, we could also do that. And Lematizer I have already told. Tagger is it gives the parts of speech tag for each of the words in the sentence. Then dependency parser is I guess I don't want to give a wrong definition. I'm not sure what this is. Let's explore it. And the entity recognizer gives the entities for each of the words, like whether is it whether what kind of thing is like, is it a person or is it a place. That kind of labels are given to each entities. It detects those entities and gives it as a response. And entity linker, I'm not sure. And text categorizer is there. And matcher and phrase matcher is something like, if you for example, if let's say a word like what to say, dropout is there. So drop and out are two separate words. It could be typed as drop hyphen out, or drop space out, or drop out without any spaces. So we should be able to, like what the lematizer does. It converts going to go. In the same way with the matcher, we could define all these words like the dropout, drop hyphen out, and drop out, and make it as a single word as we wanted, so that it will be much simpler for us, for the program to understand what the word actually is. And each of the sentence sizer separates the sentence. We could also configure this with that. There is a lot of options for us to customize it to separate the sentence. And that's a whole lot of thing, like what we see here. So if we have a look at these in detail, it takes some time, but it will be awesome. And what we have next is universe. In the universe section, it just gives verif reference links and urls, and it also has a number of projects that are available. Like for example, I am selecting visualizer, which I like very much. Like it does a lot of work for us, and it also makes our work look um, much attractive. Like if we see this Spacy is another project which is a part of Spacy. What it does is it is used for displaying the parts of speech text. Like if we see here, let me show you an example of this. So yeah, so here, this is what is the output of Spacy. Actually, Spacy is available as a JS file, which can be used in any HTML websites, or in any other React or Angular projects, or anywhere. We could use it anywhere, any web projects. It can also run on Jupyter. It can also display on Jupyter, or we could also generate SVGs from it, or we can also generate HTMLs, images. Everything is supported by this Spacy. The Spacy also has a very brief and descriptive documentation. And there are also a lot of projects that we could see here, which utilizes the Spacy. If you are interested, you could have a look at these things. So we also have the reference books, video courses, and podcast about Spacy. So this Spacy project is itself a community supported project. It is performing very well, and in a low end system also it works. Also, it takes time for some very huge data processing. It works very well for in my case, like in an 8 GB system, I'm able to process around 44,000 articles, and you might assume each article in the size of around a single page, like 10 lines in each article. So and that's it about Spacy, which is an open source natural language processing library. So thank you. Do subscribe and like the channel.